Ever feel like you're carrying a weight you didn't choose? Maybe it's a worry that follows you around, or a challenge that just won't ease up. What if the way through it isn't about fighting it harder, but about seeing it differently? This is about finding that shift, the quiet reminder that you already have what it takes to lighten the load. The verse opens with a powerful, almost cinematic image, seeing fireworks from the freeway. This isn't a joyful, front row view of the celebration. It's a distant, disconnected glimpse from a road that symbolizes moving on or passing through. It sets a tone of being an observer to someone else's pain rather than being in the thick of it yourself. The next line, behind closed eyes, I cannot make them go away, reveals that this image is burned into the narrator's mind. It's a memory or a worry that haunts them even in private moments, something they can't escape. This immediately tells us the song is about a deep concern for another person. The reason for this concern is then revealed. You were born on the 4th of July, Freedom Ring. This is a clever and loaded line. On one level, it's a literal birthday, but it's also a heavy metaphor. The 4th of July is America's Independence Day, symbolizing freedom, celebration, and life. By saying this person was born on that day, the narrator is emphasizing how much life and potential this person has. Their very existence is tied to a concept of freedom and joy. This makes the contrast of their current suffering even more tragic and unfair. This unfairness is what the narrator grapples with next. The something on the surface that stings and makes him nervous is likely the visible signs of illness or deep sadness in his friend. It's the physical manifestation of a problem that is painful to look at. This leads him to ask the big, angry, universal questions we all ask when someone good is suffering. Who says that you deserve this? And what kind of God would serve this? These aren't just philosophical musings. They're raw, emotional reactions. He's challenging the very idea of justice and a higher power, angry that someone so full of life, symbolized by the 4th of July, could be handed such a cruel fate. But the verse doesn't end in despair. It culminates in a powerful declaration of loyalty and hope. We will cure this dirty old disease. Notice he says we, positioning himself not as a distant observer, but as an active participant in the fight. The dirty old disease could be a literal illness like cancer, but it also works as a metaphor for depression, grief, or any profound struggle. The most famous line, if you've got the poison, I've got the remedy, is the core thesis of the entire song. The remedy he's offering isn't a medical cure. It's his presence, his friendship, his love, and his unwavering support. He's saying, your pain is the poison, and my commitment to standing by you is the antidote. It's a promise to face the darkness together, using the strength of their bond as the primary weapon. This section gets philosophical, unpacking the very idea of the remedy he just promised. He starts by defining it. The remedy is the experience. This is a profound shift. He's not talking about a pill or a quick fix. He's saying that the cure itself is going through the struggle. The healing comes from the journey, the pain, the fear, the vulnerability, and ultimately, the act of facing it all. He immediately acknowledges how difficult this is by calling it a dangerous liaison, which is a fancy way of saying a risky partnership or relationship. He's admitting that choosing to fully experience a painful situation instead of running from it is a scary and perilous commitment to make. He then plays with words to capture the confusing, contradictory nature of hardship. I says the comedy is that it's serious, points out the absurd irony of life. Sometimes a situation is so overwhelmingly terrible that it loops back around to being almost laughable. It's the kind of dark humor that comes from realizing how bizarre and unpredictable life can be. By calling this a strange enough new play on words, he's acknowledging that he's twisting language to try and make sense of something that ultimately doesn't make sense. He's using wordplay as a tool to process a complex emotion. The pre-chorus then takes a slightly darker turn, focusing on the alternative if you don't embrace this experiential remedy. The tragedy is how you're gonna spend the rest of your nights with the light on. Is a powerful image of living in fear. The light on symbolizes a constant state of alertness, anxiety, and being unable to find peace or rest. The tragedy isn't just the illness itself, it's a life defined by fear of it. But he immediately flips this image into a call to action. So shine the light on all of your friends, transforms that symbol of fear into a symbol of guidance and connection. He's saying, don't let your fear isolate you in a lit room. Instead, use that energy to connect with and appreciate the people around you. He ends this deep thought with a line that sounds nihilistic, but is actually freeing, when it all amounts to nothing in the end. This isn't meant to be depressing. It's a reminder of our own mortality and the fact that, in the grand scheme, our struggles are temporary. By acknowledging that everything eventually ends, it takes the pressure off. It suggests that since the outcome is ultimately the same for everyone, what truly matters is how we choose to spend our time now. The value is in the experience itself, the love shared with friends, the courage found in darkness, not in some far off perfect ending. This idea circles right back to his first point. The remedy is the experience, because that's all we really have. At first glance, the chorus seems almost too simple, especially when compared to the complex wordplay of the pre-chorus. But its simplicity is its entire power. After wrestling with big questions about tragedy, fear, and the meaning of life in the previous sections, the chorus is the ultimate conclusion and declaration. It's the mantra he arrives at. The phrase, I won't worry my life away, is an active choice, a conscious decision to reject the tragedy of living in constant fear that was described just moments before. It's not a statement of ignorance or that there's nothing to worry about. The verses have already confirmed there's plenty to worry about. Instead, it's a vow to not let that worry consume the precious time he has. The repetition of I at the start of each line is really important. It's a firm affirmation of self. By repeating it, he's strengthening his own resolve, almost like he's giving himself a pep talk. He's owning this philosophy for himself. This ties back directly to the promise he made in the verse. If you've got the poison, I've got the remedy. He can't be a source of strength for someone else if he himself is paralyzed by anxiety. So, this chorus is him solidifying his own mindset first modeling the behavior he believes is the cure. The Hey Oh Oh sections are more than just filler. They function as a musical and emotional release. After the intensity of the verses and the intellectual density of the pre-chorus, these wordless phrases are a moment to exhale. They represent the feeling of liberation that comes with this decision. It's the sound of weight being lifted off one's shoulders. By not using words here, the song communicates the feeling of freedom more directly than any complex lyric could. It's the embodiment of the very worry-free state he's singing about. Ultimately, the chorus is the core message of the entire song. The remedy he's offering isn't a magic solution that erases the problem. It's the commitment to choose a different way of living in spite of the problem. The remedy is the decision to not let worry steal your life. It's a defiant, joyful, and resilient stance against the darkness, making this simple chorus one of the most powerful and enduring parts of the song. This verse zooms out from the personal struggle of the first verse to look at the broader sickness in the world, showing that the song's message applies to more than just individual illness. The narrator sets the scene by listening to two men arguing on a radio talk show, which he describes as a crossfire kind of new reality show. This paints a picture of modern media where debate is less about finding truth and more about entertainment, conflict, and ratings. A kind of staged battle where people are more interested in winning points than in connection or solutions. The lyrics then get specific and dark with the line, uncovering the ways to plan the next big attack. This could be taken literally, referring to news about terrorism or war, but it also works metaphorically for the way we often communicate. We plan attacks in our arguments, looking for the perfect jab to win a fight. This idea is hammered home by the brilliant run-on phrase, counting down the ways to stab the brother in the be right back after this. This mimics the chaotic, fragmented feeling of channel surfing through serious news and shallow ads. The stab the brother part is a powerful allusion to betrayal and internal conflict, the ways we hurt our own brothers, or fellow humans. The fact that this violence is immediately followed by "be right back after this" highlights how numbly we consume tragedy. It's just another piece of content sandwiched between commercials, easily digested and forgotten. He calls this the unavoidable kiss, where the minty fresh death breath is sure to outlast this catastrophe. This is some of the song's most intense imagery. The unavoidable kiss is a metaphor for being forced to engage with this toxic, violent world. It's inescapable. The minty fresh death breath is a devastating oxymoron. It suggests a society that tries to cover up its rot and decay, its death breath with a superficial layer of freshness and pleasantness, like a mint masking bad breath. The tragedy is that this fake freshness, this refusal to address the real decay, will outlast the catastrophe. The problems are ignored and glossed over, allowing them to persist long after the immediate disaster has passed. But, just like in the first verse, he doesn't end in despair. In the face of this overwhelming societal sickness, his response is the same: dance with me. This is an incredible invitation. In a world obsessed with conflict and surface-level fixes, his remedy is connection, joy, and shared movement. It's a radical act of defiance to choose dance over debate and love over attack. He closes the verse by directly echoing the first verse's promise: Because if you've got the poison, I've got the remedy. He's confirming that whether the poison is a personal illness or the sickness of the entire world, his answer remains unchanged. The remedy is unwavering solidarity and choosing to embrace life together. The bridge introduces a new but deeply connected idea, the concept of love. At first, it might seem like a shift from the themes of sickness and remedy, but it's actually the final piece of the puzzle. The line, "When I fall in love, I take my time," isn't just about romantic love. It's a metaphor for his entire philosophy. He's talking about the deliberate, conscious choice to invest in life itself. To fall in love in this context means to fully commit to an experience, to a person, or to the moment, and he does so with patience and intention. This connects back to the pre-chorus's idea that the remedy is the experience. He's saying that truly experiencing life requires this same slow, mindful commitment, not a rushed or panicked reaction. This mindset is his ultimate source of strength and independence. The declaration, "You can turn off the sun, but I'm still gonna shine," is one of the most powerful lines in the song. It means that his light, his positivity, and his spirit are no longer dependent on external circumstances. Even if the worst happens, even if the ultimate source of light and life, the sun, is taken away, he has cultivated an inner light that cannot be extinguished. This is the core of the remedy he's been talking about all along. It's an internal, self-sustaining power that stands in defiant contrast to the external poisons of disease, fear, and societal conflict mentioned in the verses. Finally, the line, "And then I'll tell you why," serves as a crucial pivot point. It's a promise of explanation and a moment of teaching. He's not just possessing this remedy for himself. He's offering to share the secret of it. This line transforms the bridge from a personal declaration into an open invitation. It sets the stage for the final, emphatic repeats of the chorus, now infused with this new, deeper meaning. We understand that his vow to not worry his life away isn't based on ignorance or blind optimism, but on this hard-won internal light and a conscious, loving commitment to life, no matter how dark it gets. The bridge reveals that the remedy is, ultimately, a form of resilient, self-generated love.